me just refresh my laptop here so that way I can see what's going on. Okie dokie. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Carla, and welcome back to the studio. And thank you for joining me. So I am doing. This is my. Well, I can't talk. I apologize in advance. You turn the camera on and then you can't talk, and that's just, yeah, you gotta love when that happens. So hey everybody, this is Carla. Welcome back to the studio, and thank you for joining me tonight. So my paper pumpkin, this is my monthly paper pumpkin kit of unboxing slash assembly that I do every month. Now, there's never a particular set day that I do it because it all depends on when my paper pumpkin kit comes in. So, this month's kit is the what is this one called? Farmhouse Florals. So this was the kit that, and there's my lights flash right on it. So let me kind of move it out of the way for a little bit. So this was the particular kit that came with a free stamp set in it, and I will show that to you in a moment. There was not a whole lot of sneak peeks on this, but I can tell you that the cards are very cute, very pretty. One of the things too that I saw that they did with this particular kit, is you're actually stamping on the inside. Most of the instructions for these kits really didn't have you do anything with the inside, but this one does. But before we get into this box, I do want to make mention to you about what's coming. So this is for the month of September. The subscription period for this one had opened up on August 11th, and it will run through September 10th. So if you love fall, you definitely want to get your hands on this particular kit. This kit, it coordinates with the Autumn Toile Suite collection. Uh, I can definitely tell you now that this particular suite is in the new holiday mini catalog that will go live on September 3rd. As a demonstrator, I was able to pre-order it. And even by looking at these sneak peeks, and I said that this is definitely going to be a suite that I'm going to get. Well, I will let you know that yes, I did get it. Very, very pretty all around. Definitely going to have a lot of fun with that. With that being said, I will mention that this coming Saturday, which is the 23rd at 6 p.m. right here on this channel, I will be going live. I do have my pre-order from that mini catalog plus the online exclusives that will go live also on September 3rd. And at 6 p.m., I am going to basically show you what everything looks like. And this is definitely going to be a suite that's going to be in the product line that I'm going to show that night. So, for this particular kit, just like as a little sneak peek about it, again, it's called the Fall for Toile. Subscription period opened up on August 11th, and it'll go through September 10th. This one, they describe it as design elegant cards with metallic foil and rich autumnal imagery. It's going to make 9 cards, three each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. There's metallic foil details and gross and grosgrain. That's it. Ribbon trim, pre-cut paper pieces and printed sentiment labels. And the coordinating colors in this kit is Cajun Craze, which is also going to be the classic Stampin' spot in the kit. Crumb cake, darling duckling, early espresso, pecan pie, and timid tiger. So lots of pretty colors in this. And like I said, I already did get this suite, and I can tell you that the designs in the designer series paper are just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure that some of this design is probably going to be mixed in with the card bases in this kit. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Again, so September 10th is the last day to subscribe to this or increase if you're already subscribed, if you want an extra kit. If this is not really your jam, and if you want to pause it, you can do that too. If you just want to outright cancel, you can do that too. Just remember, you got to do all that stuff by September 10th, because come September 11th, then that's basically when we're going to start with the subscription period opening for October. And so that's going to be a whole next three kits that don't have no clue what those are going to be about quite yet, but it's coming. For Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, it's only available to those in North America, so in the United States and Canada. If you are interested in Paper Pumpkin, I do have some info in the description. There's also some links if you want to either subscribe or if you would like to purchase the prepaid kits as well. Um, so there's that. Along with that particular kit, there are also some coordinating add-on dies that coordinate with the July, August, and September kits. And I do have these dies right here. So the item number on these is 167277. Here in the United States, these are $12. To get any of these add-ons or refills, you do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get them. This is what they look like. So they're not teeny tiny dies. They are a nice size. And what's nice about this one, the July kit was the Sweeter With You, and it was all about the strawberries. So you have this outline image along with this little detailed image that just cuts out like the little seeds in it. And then you got the toppers where that becomes a strawberry. Well, if you use this solid outline right here, and then you use this, then you've made an acorn with it. So you have dies in here, definitely going to coordinate with July. Even for the one that we are doing tonight for the August one, I'm thinking that it's probably, well, it could be the flowers and it could be the hello. Again, these dies, you don't need them to complete the projects that are in the kits. These are for if you want to say take the elements from the kit and you want to do some alternative projects, and this is just something extra that you can add some elements into the card. So again, they coordinate with it, but you don't need them in order to complete the kit. So hope that makes sense. Um, what else? So these are still available. I did check before I went online. They're still available. They're not on low inventory. So if you're interested, and again, those dies are available to those that are subscribed to Paper Pumpkin. Okay, so let's open up this box and see what we got. Now ahead of time, actually, hold on one second. I forgot something. There's always something that I end up forgetting that I end up needing. So in the kit, I already opened this up. What I did was one of each of the projects, all the little pieces and everything, I pulled them, kind of put it in its envelope because we're going to only do one of each in this particular kit. And I just saved a little bit of time, of kind of sorting everything out ahead of time. So when you get your kit, all the contents along with the colored instructions are all cellophane wrapped together. And then what's loose in the box would be your ink spot and your stamp set. In this particular one, you got two stamp sets. So in the instructions, there's no wording in it as to how to put things together. They have images and pictures. For kits that have twine or ribbon, there is a ruler on the side that's very handy. So really the only thing that you need to complete these kits are a pair of scissors, a bone folder, if you want to use that to have your card bases, if you want to burnish them and have a nice fold on your cards. I mean, that's handy. Also, take your pick tool is great when there's embellishments, or in a lot of times the kits may have the mini dimensionals, so this is great for picking those up as well. And you don't really need adhesive because usually the adhesive is with the kit. Um, Again, it shows you, with the stamps, what stamp to use, where to ink it, where to stamp it. And then even your dimensionals and your glue dots. I'm not seeing any glue dots in this one, but the dimensionals would be these little white hexagons that are on the back of the cardstock or the image or whatever it may be. So it shows you how to where exactly to place those. And then on the back on this flap, it does show all the contents and the things that you would need for each of the kits. So basically I looked at this to know what card base goes with what little tag pieces and images. And then on the very back, you'll see like the whole entire contents of the kit laid out, and then it lets you know, the supplies that you have in this box, how many cards and envelopes there are in it, the coordinating colors, and then there is this QR code that will take you to where the dies are also on the website. So I do have a link in the description that will also take you directly there to get those. So those are the instructions. So again, I mentioned about dimensionals. So these are mini dimensionals. The pokey end of your take your pick tool is really great at picking these up. There is some linen thread in here. There is always an ink spot. Sometimes there may be two in a kit, and the ink spots don't repeat in a year's time. The colors don't repeat. So each month you have the little ink spot that you can collect them. They're great if you are traveling and you don't have to pull the full ink pad with you. um, the difference between the Stampin' Spots and the regular ink sized ink pads is that the little spots are felt and the big ones are foam. So for working on this project, I'm going to set aside my little ink spot, and what I went to go grab was the full size Secret Sea ink pad. Here are my three cards that I did put all the contents in there. This is what we're going to be working with. Then again, with this particular kit, there was a free stamp set that was included. Now on this, to determine which is the free one, and okay, looking at this is the free one right here, the one with the teapot. So there is also a little printed image sheet as well. So the stamp set that is actually used on these cards, and again, you can use any of these on the card. This is the stamp set. that's with the set. So you got a for you, a thank you, just to note you are loved, to say forever your friend, hello, X's and O's, and then good friends are hard to find. I'm so glad we found each other. And then on the free stamp set, you have a teapot. You got some flowers here and a set of leaves. Um, really like this script font in this for a great friend. Always here for you. You're simply the best. And thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear. So, again, this particular kit has 2 stamp sets to it. And then you get sheets that have all the little die cuts and the labels in it. That almost looks like the shape of Oregon. I just noticed that. It almost looks like Oregon. The shape of it looks very close to it. And then you have like your larger die cuts, your card bases, and then also your envelopes as well. Now these envelopes, they're all the same. They have the printed design on the flap. Also, the paper that's used on this too, it's, well, how do I want to describe it? Like a confetti almost. You can see like there's these little flecks in the paper, and it's the same way with these card bases. And actually, I'll be honest with you, these card bases do feel a little bit thicker than the other from the other kits that we've had in the past. So that's pretty cool. So let me take, let's see, I don't think I need this. I don't think I need this stamp set, but we'll see. I think I have everything, and I'm just going to take this and kind of set it aside. And let's go ahead and let's open up our instructions. And like I said, I've already taken care of pulling all of the pieces out. So this, I think, is our first card. Yes, it is. Okay, there's our envelope. And I'm going to bring in, so it's showing me what stamps that we're using. So we want this floral image right here. We want the You Are Loved. And then we also want this designed piece right here. And then we want thank you. So using a lot of stamps on this one. And again, this one's showing some stamping on the inside of the card. Usually most of the kits don't have that. So let me get some blocks. Now, when you're a first time subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, you will receive a clear acrylic block in your first kit. Those blocks kind of look like this, so they're a little bit thinner. There's a sharper edge, not sharp enough where you're going to cut yourself or anything, but it just has that straight edge on it. And it's a little bit different. You can see it's a lot different than the clear blocks that we sell in our annual catalog. So I'm just going to use my other blocks because there's a few stamps here. Now that block, the stamps that you get in Paper Pumpkin, that size block, this is going, all the stamps are going to fit on this block. Sometimes you may have to put them at an angle, but yeah, all the stamps that are in the kits will fit on that block. So you just keep that block, and then you use it for all the next kits that you get. So I'm just taking, I should be cleaning this before I go and put it down. With photopolymer stamps, in the process of making them, there is like this film that's on them. And to get a good stamped image, you want to clean them. So I'm using my Stampin' Scrub to do that. I have used the Stampin', what is it, the Stampin' Mist, uh, sprayed on that left side. So I'm just going to dry those off. And then also with photopolymers, because there's no foam to them, and it's, where there's a cushion, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm going to stamp my stuff on this. So this will help give a really nice stamped image. So let me kind of slide this all over. And then again, here's all my pieces. So I have my card base. Then I have the little tag to stamp my grading on. And then there's this main focal image for the front of the card. Very, very pretty image. Very pretty. Okay, so let me take, we're going to stamp the inside of this first. So again, what they've done is they've taken this floral image and they have stamped it twice going in different directions. And then the "You Are Loved" is right in between them. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to stamp the "You Are Loved." And again, I'm using my full-sized Secret C ink pad instead of the ink spot. And let me see, we're using the "You Are Loved." I'm going to ink this up. And I will stamp this right here. I really like this font that they used for these little greetings. Very nice. Okay, and then we're going to take the floral image, ink this up, make sure it's good and inky, and then I'm going to stamp right above that greeting in this direction, and then I'll flip it over and stamp it right underneath it. Easy enough. There we go. Secret C is definitely one. It's a new in color, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I do like it. It's when you compare it to, like, say, Night of Navy, I would say that this has a little bit of a greenish undertone to it. So I would say it's a darker version of Pretty Peacock. So there we go. There's our inside. And let me take my bone folder and we'll burnish that really good so our card stays closed. Okay, and then one other bit of stamping that we're going to do. Let's get our little tag here. And on the tag, the thank you is stamped right over, that looks like it's Lost Lagoon, that strip right there. So let's ink this up. And we'll stamp that right over that like so. There we go. There's our greeting. And then they're showing on the card front. Now let me get a piece of scrap paper here. So we're adding a little bit of stamping on our card front. So that's what this stamp right here is for. So they show, let's ink this up. So we're stamping like a row of it right here. And let's see, we got another one, like right here. Now a lot of this is going to be covered up. And then we got over here. And over here. And again, like I said, that's going to kind of be covered up, so you're not going to see that. Okay, so let's set that aside for a moment, and let's bring in our pieces here. And so according to the instructions, it shows you exactly where to place your dimensionals. So you have a total of 5 on this piece right here, 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. And then on the greeting piece, on this flat edge, so pick this up. So on this flat edge, when you have it flipped over like so, it's showing that you are placing 2 dimensionals over on this end. Now, don't put it on this end because this end right here is going to be overlapping this bigger piece that you're going to be popping up. So you just want that popped up on the very end here. This will already be popped up when it's placed on top of that. Okay, so let's get those dimensionals. And again, I'm going to use my take your pick tool. My thing likes to come out. I got this one when they originally came out a few years ago. So it's kind of loose where this wants to come out. All right, so again, I find it's a little bit easier using my take your pick tool to pick these up. And again, we're putting 1 in each corner and then in the middle, so it doesn't get all saggy in the middle on us. And I'll take these paper backings off. I feel like I got this really early because for a good number of months I've been getting my paper pumpkin like later, in the month, and it will seem like the very end of the month when I finally get to do my unboxing and assembling. So then we're going to take this and kind of center it on our card front like so. And then again, we're going to take 2 dimensionals, add it to the flat edge side of the greeting piece. Take these off. Oops, there's the other one. I look in the light and you can see I really got some bruising going on my hand. I keep banging my hand on things, and I got to stop doing that. Okay, so then we're going to place this right to make sure my card's straight, so I put that on straight. And we'll place that right there. And now this thing kind of sticks up a little bit. It's not, I don't think it's overlapped. Hold on. Pick it up very carefully there. I don't rip. Yeah, it's overlapped a little bit. So let me redo. I got to come closer to this flat edge. Was overlapping a little bit. That's why it was kind of, the end that doesn't have any adhesive on it, that's why it was kind of popping up a little bit. Let's try this again. So let's straighten our card, and then now the other thing you can do if you want, because I can see that this is going to kind of poke up a little bit, I'm going to take some of my seal and I'm going to add a little bit on there, and that will stick down on that image, so it'll stay put. So I'm going to take this and place this right here like so. Okay, so now that's stuck down. So on this one, there's no linen thread on this one. This is all that's on there, and this particular kit didn't come with any embellishments. So there's the first card, and then we have our coordinating envelope as well. So let's put that aside, and let's bring in our Stampin' Scrub, and let me clean off these stamps really quick so I can reuse these blocks. And I think that floral image, and I think even this one here, are used quite a bit in these projects. Okay. So our second card, let's bring all those pieces in. Everything wants to fall out. Make sure I got everything. Okay, let's dump all our little pieces out. And let's flip our instructions to card number 2. Okay, so there's card number 2. All right, so for this one, we're going to use this floral image again, along with these little spotted ones that we used. And then, where's my stamps? Oops. We want For You. And then there's another one that says, Good Friends. Yeah, that's the one. All right, now let me take these off. And let's see, got the For You. I'm going to clean that first. And then for our greeting, I'm going to bring in my longer block here. And let's clean this up. All right. So again, this one we're stamping on the inside of our card. So let me get my piercing match here and move the scrap paper out of the way for a moment. All right, so on this one, again, we're going to stamp this in the same manner that we did the first card. We're going to do our greeting first, and then we're going to add that floral image on the top and the bottom of it. Okay, so then let's stamp this right here. Good friends are hard to find. I'm so glad we found each other. Really like that font. It's really, really cool. Okay, so our floral image again. And we're going to stamp that right above it in this direction. And then now when you get your kits, I mean, if you want to stamp more stuff on the inside of your cards or whatever, I mean, feel free to do it. You don't have to follow the instructions exactly. These are your cards. You can change them up any way that you would like. So I think that looks really cool on the inside of that card. All right, so let me go ahead and burnish this. And we are going to be stamping on this as well. So let's take this little dotted image that we used earlier. And let me get my scrap paper there. And we are going to stamp this across the bag. So I want to have my card straight here. And so we're going to stamp this right here. And then we're going to stamp it again. And we're going to kind of fill in on this side as well. Okay, and again, that's going to be covered up. So we're not worried about that. Let's set that aside. And then we have this little itty bitty tag here that has a little circle die cut. Just remove that little center piece there. Okay, and then we're going to take, you can take that out of the way. We're going to put that right there, and then we're going to ink up the For You. And we're going to stamp this right here in the middle. Like so. Set that aside. And that looks like all the stamping that we're going to do on this one. Okay, so on this, we have our layout for how we're going to put all our adhesive on. So there is a die cut of the bag. This will actually lay right on top of the one printed on the card base. So where are the dimensionals? And let's see, we have 5 on this. Okay, and then on the greeting piece, we're going to add a dimensional on the flat end here. Okay, and then we have some of the die cuts of these flowers. So we have, let's see, we have this one. This one, and we have this little grouping of flowers. So the little grouping of flowers has one on each flower. Okay, set that aside. Then we got our double image here. So we got dimensional on each flower on this one too. And then we have our single flower here. And this one actually has like 3 of them on there. 1, 2, and 1 more. Okay. And then on the handle of our bag, we're going to take one of, now this, you do need scissors on this one. So let me get my snips, and I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut it in half. Now these are small, so be careful when you cut it that you don't cut your finger. And then we're going to take 1/2 and we're going to put it on this side of the handle over there, and then the other one we will put, I can get this to not be all wonky. Okay, and then put that down like so. All right, so now the other thing that we also need is we need some linen thread on here. Now on this linen thread, saying that you need 12 inches. I don't know if we really need 12 inches for this. So when we get to that part, I may need less. So, okay, let me put that aside. Let's bring in the card. Okay, so now we're going to add our pieces on here. So first we're going to take the bag, remove those, and then we're going to place this right over the printed one on the card base. Fits right over it like so. And then let's see, where are these flowers placed? Let's see. I think these little yellow ones. Let's look at the instructions here. I think they're up here. Yeah, they're right up on the top there. So they're just laying over the existing printed florals that are on the card base. Okay, so this will go right on top like so. There we go. And then we have, let's see, I think these go right here, and then I think this one goes right over here. Okay, and let's see, got those right there. And then this flower is going to go right over this one right here. So it adds a little bit of dimension to the card. So really cool. Okay, and then the handle, this is going to go. Oh, first off, I think, ooh, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're tying that linen thread, or tying that tag around, because we do have that dimensional that's on. So we're going to kind of tuck this, and we're just going to lay it over that handle that's printed on that bag, like so. So a lot of dimension on that. Okay, and then we're going to take some linen thread, and I don't really need 12 inches for this. Let's go with 6. And of course, I got my grid paper here too, so I can use that as a ruler as well. And then I'm going to take linen thread, and we'll tie it. So that I kind of got equal amount. Let's see if we can now tie this into a bow. It's a little tiny bow, and I know I didn't give myself a whole lot of linen thread to work with. But you feel free to use a little bit more if you would like, because this is where the struggle's real when you got the camera rolling. The other thing you can do too, you can also just tie a bow and use a glue dot to kind of stick it down. If you struggle with doing bows, especially on something, which I should just go and do that. So I see there's a little bit of a struggle here. Yes, we're going to do this, guys. This is what I'm going to do. Let's untie this. So a little tip. So in the kits, usually in most of these kits, you get some glue dots as well. And so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. Instead of like tying it into, now of course if you cut a bigger piece, it would probably be a lot easier to do your bow, but this is another option on what you can do. Linen thread is pretty easy to tie a bow. It's pretty forgiving. Okay, so there is our bow. And then I'm going to take my little taggy here. And again, the flat end of this has the dimensional on it. And I'm going to place this right here. So I want that hole to go there. And of course, the dimensional is going to sit on the card base. And then, let's see, let me get, so like I said, in the kit, I was using these a lot. So you can use not dimensionals, but glue dots. When they come in the kits, they're on a little piece of acetate. Or you can use the glue dots also that we have on a roll that you can get in the annual catalog. So I am going to take one of these and I'm going to place this down right over that dot. So it's going to kind of hold that down to that handle. And then I'm going to take, before I put that down, I'm going to take, I do have a dedicated pair of snips that are for cutting ribbon and twine. And I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick this right into that glue dot like so. So that's another option too, a little bit easier to do that than trying to struggle with tying that bow on that label. So there is, I think that's it on the second card. So there's the second card. A lot of dimension on this particular card. Very pretty. Really like it. Okay, so now there's our envelope. We'll put that aside. And now let's bring in, after I clean off these stamps really quick, and then we have our last card. Like I was mentioning earlier when I was giving you a little bit of the sneak peek of the September kit, I am really looking forward to putting that kit together. I may just have to order and add an extra kit onto my subscription because I love everything fall. Fall is my favorite season. Is this the right cat? Or is it this one? This one don't stay on there. Okay, that goes to the other pair of scissors. All right, third card. So for this one, we're using this floral image again. Let's see, we're using this one again. And then for our greeting, we're using that thank you again. So I'm going to bring this in. We'll put that on there because there's another one. To say goes on there with it. And then just a note. Just a note. And then we're done with this greeting. And we're done with that one. Okay, and then we have this. Let's clean these stamps. Okay, so this one we have thank you. Actually, I'm just going to stamp these separately. They do show that you're putting the to say and thank you on the same. Now the thing is, on the to say, it's got 3 little dots at the end of it, and there's a way you can ink that up where you don't get those little dots. So yeah, we're going to stamp this separately because they're not showing that to say with dots, but the stamp does have it on there. I think I cleaned these right, but let me put this one on here just so I can clean it. Okay. All right, so this one, let me bring in my card pieces. So this one has some florals and a typewriter on it. Pretty cool color for a typewriter. And let me move these pieces. This is the one that's got that label that, in my opinion, looks like it's the shape of Oregon. All right. So then I'm going to get my foam mat here. And this one, again, we're going to do the greeting and then add that floral image on the top and the bottom of it. So on here, we're going to do the thank you. Make sure we're straight. And we'll put the thank you there. And then let's get a block for our to say. And now to ink it up, there's, like I said, there's 3 little dots that are right here. You can either take a piece of tape and you can put that over the dots, ink it up, and then remove the tape before you stamp it down. Or if you're really careful, and I got to stand right over this so I can see, you can just ink up the to say without the dots. So there we go. So that I don't know if you can see that, but the 3 little dots right there. Yeah, so if you're careful, you can get like the very edge of your ink pad to do that. Or again, you can use Scotch tape and tape over those little dots. You just have to remember to remove that tape before you stamp down. Okay, and then we're going to go over and under our greeting. And one down here. And there's the inside of our card. All right, and let's burnish our card really quick. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Okay, and then, well, we actually need our little greeting piece here. And, oh, hold on a second. Aha, look at this. The typewriter actually has a little slit right in it, because this little taggy is going to slip right into the typewriter like that. Isn't that cool? So with that being said, when we go to stamp the greeting, we want to come up a little bit higher. We don't want to stamp in the middle or down at the bottom. So we'll ink up just a note. And I'm going to stamp that right here. Like so. That's going to look really, really cool. Okay, and then just like what we did with, what do you call it, with the last card where we stamped over the card base itself, we're going to do that again. And again, we're going over the typewriter, but we have that typewriter die cut that we're going to place right over. So you're not going to see like the mess that's inside. All right, so we're going to put one here and then stamp again, and we'll put one right here. Okay, that's it. The stamping is done. So let's close that up. And then let's see, what do we have? How do we have our adhesive on this? Okay, so the typewriter, let's see, we are going to, now the way they have it, they don't have dimensionals like actually holding this piece to the typewriter. They have two dimensionals up at the top of the paper for the typewriter, and then we have four dimensionals here for the typewriter. Okay, we'll set that aside, and then there's these two floral die cuts. So on this one, they're showing that the dimensionals on the single flower is down towards where the two leaves are, and then you have a dimensional in the middle of each of the yellow flower. So let's see, we got, if you just look at the diagram and you just kind of put in the same direction, you can see where exactly you have to put these. And then this one goes right next to it. And then for this one, we put one in the middle of each of those flowers. Now this one doesn't have any linen thread on it. It was just that second card that we did. All right, so we are going to take our little greeting piece here, and we're going to kind of tuck that in, that little slit like so. Okay. So we have it like so, and then we're going to take this and we're going to place this on our card base right over that printed typewriter. Okay, bring the card in and then just line this up right over the top of that printed one like so. And then we'll stick that down as well, so that's not going to go anywhere. And then we have our two flowers. They're kind of going over here, so I kind of have, let's see, I think line up like that. Like this. Yeah, so it goes right over, kind of holds that down. And then this one, goes, looks like it goes, hold on, let me look at the cover photo. Okay, so then this one goes kind of over here, so it's covering up that stamping that you did on the background there, and it just overlaps on that paper coming out of the typewriter. So I think, yeah, that's it. There is the third card. So the cards come together pretty quickly. We have a lot of dimension on the cards, you know, a lot of lift of the die cuts, a little bit of stamping on the background, and then of course this is something that we usually not seen in the instructions of the kit, which you're more than welcome to do it anyway, but they actually have like instruction as far as stamping in the inside of the card. And again, these card bases, they are a little more sturdier than the ones in past kits, and it's kind of like a confetti type of cardstock. I don't know if you can see all those little speckles in there, but very, very cool. And then the envelopes are the same way. They have all the speckling in it with that printed flap. So there is that third card. So let me bring in the other ones. So here is the first card that we did. So we got that nice pretty watercolor window scene with some vases and pots with some flowers in it. And then what was inside? So it says, thank you, you are loved. And then our second card was this like canvas type of bag where we kind of lifted that up, again stamped in the background, some dimension with some flowers, our little tag, and our linen thread. For you, good friends are hard to find. I'm so glad we found each other. And then our final card with the typewriter, just a note to say thank you. So again, a lot of lift on all these cards with those die cuts. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my monthly paper pumpkin unboxing and assembling. If you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are new here and you like what I have presented, I also have I have like over 270 other videos pre-recorded in addition to the lives that I do on Fridays. So there's like about 200, there's a little more than 275 videos here on this channel. So if you want some inspiration, go ahead and check those out. I do have things listed by playlists, and so I have a lot of other videos in the playlist for Paper Pumpkin. So again, if you like what I presented and the other content that I have, um, also subscribe and hit that notification bell, and that will let you know when I have a new video up and also when I'll be going live. Now, like I mentioned, I will, well, I think that, no, I don't think I mentioned it. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I will be right here in the studio and on this channel, and I'll be creating using the Turtley Cute suite of products that's in our current annual catalog. And then on Saturday, I don't typically do a live or a video on a Saturday. It's very rare, but on Saturday, I am going to go live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am going to go through my pre-order haul between the online exclusives coming out on September 3rd and also the holiday mini catalog that will go live on September 3rd as well. Now, if you are here in the US and you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like a copy of that holiday mini catalog and or the 2025 to 2026 annual catalog, my email is in the description of the email. Just simply send me an email and let me know what catalogs you would like. Also include your mailing address. That's very important. We'll need that. And then also one other thing that I do have in the description is a link if you would like to sign up for my newsletter. So I do the newsletter monthly. Usually I just do one near the beginning of the month. In my newsletter, I include my whole video schedule. So I show what products that I'm going to be using for my Throwback Thursdays, for my Friday Night Lives, what the kit's going to be for Paper Pumpkin. I do a monthly Christmas card inspiration video at the beginning of the month. And I think that's the content that I have that I usually have every month. So that's on there. There's also a little button on there that will direct you to this YouTube channel. I also include in my newsletters anything that I may be doing here in the studio, also anything that's Stampin' Up, any sales, promotions, anything like that that Stampin' Up may be doing. Every month, at the beginning of every month, Stampin' Up! Also comes out with 2 or 3 new kits in their kits collection. So I do include pictures of those kits along with a description of what's in the kit and what it's all about. The next paper pumpkin, so the info for the September paper pumpkin kit will be in there as well. And that's, oh, and then if you want catalogs, that link is in there as well. Um, so I typically only do that near the beginning of the month. Usually it's like the first Tuesday of every month because that's when we get the info on the new stuff. Now, the only time I will be sending a newsletter more than once in a month is if there is a special or some kind of promotion that Stampin' Up! Puts out there. A lot of times, even as demonstrators, we don't get a heads up of what's coming. So whenever there's some kind of special promotion or something, I will then send out another newsletter just to let you know about that as well. Now, you don't necessarily have to be here in the US to subscribe to my newsletter. If you like to see the info, the things that I'm going to be doing on this channel, um, it's a great informational tool. Even anything that I also put in there that maybe Stampin' Up! Is doing or whatever. The only difference would be price, the price points, because I don't know what the prices are in other markets, just here in the US. So thank you again for stopping by and watching my monthly paper pumpkin unboxing and assembling. And so I will be back next month, sometime in September, using that new fall, is it fall for 12? Is that what it's called? Yes, fall for 12 kit. I'm looking forward to using this. And again, this coordinates with the Autumn 12 Suite collection that is in the new holiday mini catalog. And I will be showing all the bits and pieces that go into this suite on Saturday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. And again, the coordinating add-on dies are still available. You do need to be a subscriber in order to get them. And then when September rolls around, then I will give you that whole sneak peek of what I can get, like as far as images for the final three kits for the rest of for rest of 2025. That's what I'm trying to get out. So again, thank you everybody. Again, I'll be live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I hope that you will join us. Until next time, everyone, have a blessed one. Bye bye.